Hey guys, it's Christian from Lost in Discovery and welcome back to my One Piece journey. I've been taking a break from One Piece. I've been so busy with life, there's been no time to sit down and read, and you know what, it's kind of been nice to take a step back from the series and miss it a little bit. Just like the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I've been reading some darker stuff on audiobook. If you'd like to hear about that, just released a video on it, but today we're getting back into One Piece. Before jumping into New World, I wanted to kind of do a retrospective of all the things that have happened pre-time skip, because I feel like one day we'll look back on these memories as the innocent old days before things got too real in the series. And I really wanted to talk to some experts on One Piece to get their thoughts on it too, and maybe point me into the direction of what to expect next. So I sought out the help of my good booktube friends, Allen and Petrik. These guys are legends in the fantasy community. They know their stuff. They're extremely well read, and they both happen to be lifelong super One Piece fans, and it was an awesome experience to talk to people who really know the series back to front and could kind of point me into the direction of certain things and share their opinions. These guys are fantastic. I had a great time talking with them, and I hope you enjoy it too. I edited this and I was thinking of adding timestamps, as I usually do, to kind of give you a clue about when we're talking about certain things. But we go off on so many tangents, all One Piece related, but it's way too chaotic to kind of nail down. Just know we're talking about all the sagas sequentially up until New World, all the things we enjoyed, all the things we didn't enjoy. And yeah, it's just a good time. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, hey everyone, welcome to my One Piece retrospective up to New World. I have Alan from the Library of Alexandria with me, and Petrik from Petrik Leo on BookTube. My two One Piece friends to help guide me through my journey. I wanted to ask you guys how you got introduced to One Piece, how you've been following the series. We'll start with Alan. How have you found One Piece in your life?
I found One Piece when I was in college in must have been 2004 or whatever. I don't know. It was maybe 2003. I don't know. The anime was in Arabasta when I started watching it, and I started watching with the I've always liked anime back when they called it Japanimation, like back in the 90s.
Japan animation.
But I've always liked anime, and a friend of mine was watching it. They were writing One Piece fanfic is what they were doing. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And there's an anime about pirates. And I'm like, what? And so they showed it to me, and I've been hooked ever since. And I have never read the manga until I finally caught up with the anime last month. So for 20 years, I would watch a chunk of it and then fall off of it for a couple years. And then I would pick it back up and I'd watch a chunk of it, and then I'd fall off. So I finally caught up with over 1,000 episodes of this freaking show. And so yeah, so I love the anime because I love the seiyuu. Luffy's voice actress is
amazing,
just phenomenal.
So good. Yeah.
She's so good, and she makes the show for me. And so yeah, been 20 years been watching this freaking show.
I'm gonna interject, Alan. What do you think of the English VAs? If you've
So my problem with anime English VAs, this has always been my problem with anime dubs, is that dubs aren't bad, but characters like Luffy and then little kids, they always have the same quality of their voice, which I can't watch it. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be king of the pirates. And what the Japanese does, especially Luffy, what the subs do is they make these noises
yeah.
They just make these human noises that add so much to it. And then American anime, the English dubs, don't do that. They never do it in any of the dubs. And I think it's lost in translation between the subs and the dubs. And that's why I prefer subs more, because it just feels more natural. So when there's a young kid like Luffy, I tend to not like the dubs very much because there's always that kind of voice, if that makes sense. Now, the 4Kids dub is an atrocity, where Sanji 1 has a lot. Oh, hey, you guys, let's go find the old blue somehow and look like the ingredients, the Baribo head or whatever.
Dude, I haven't heard the 4Kids dub. I've just seen the Sanji lollipop. That's all I've seen.
Have you heard the instead of using "we are" like an English version of "we are" like the Funimation dub does?
Yeah,
they have the One Piece rap. Ya yo ya yo.
Okay, I've heard that. Yeah. All right. Before we get too deep into that, Petrik, tell us your story of One Piece.
I'm more or less the same. I think I started to truly read One Piece. I think it was in 2003 or 2004. But I couldn't remember correctly, but it was very similar, something like that. But the first time I found out about One Piece, it was when I was still in middle school. Yeah, I was still in middle school and people were talking about it. But the first time I watched the show, I found out about it as an anime first, rather than a manga. The first time I watched it, of course, I thought, what is this? This seems like a kid's show. I mean, it's just Luffy is just a rubber man, right? And I thought this is just copying Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, that was my original thought, and I never thought about it further until someone brought the manga to the classroom, and I read a few volumes, and I thought this is actually quite good. This is actually quite good, and ever since then I've been following the manga. Yeah.
Nice. Did you start reading it from volume 1 or did you pick up a random?
Nah, I pick up a random volume. I couldn't even remember which volume was that. But I know that the story arc that really made me love One Piece, started to really love One Piece, it was the Alabasta arc. Yeah, that was
Patrick,
I think that was really the turning point for One Piece. After I got to that part, I started to think, this is something amazing. This is amazing. Yeah.
Same thing happened with me. It's like all of East Blue was great, but it was kind of episodic, and it just felt like we pick up someone, learn their backstory, we kept going. It was like all set up until Alabasta, where it was like, oh, this is a proper series.
It also helped that Crocodile was the coolest villain with the coolest power.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Crocodile remained one of my favorite villains. Like, he's one of my favorite characters in the show. His character design and his power is so freaking cool.
Yeah. Man, his return in Impel Down was just, shivers down.
I was cheering from my chair when the Crocodile appeared again, because we had Crocodile and I got to see Smoker again at freaking Ford, who's my other favorite character.
Yeah, Smoker's he just makes appearances, doesn't he? He's got nothing to say, really.
He's underutilized, and it fills me with rage.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's always just out of their grasp.
I don't like his haircut post-time.
Oh, I haven't seen him post-time skip.
I don't like his haircut.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's one of my gripes at the beginning was the lack of returning characters, and then Impel Down was like, finally, like all these great characters are back. Like Mr. 3 as well, Mr. 2.
Mr. 2 Bone Clay!
Yeah.
Bone Clay return was so cool.
And I love Death the Wink. What's Ivankov.
Yeah.
And also Magellan's power is OP.
Yeah.
He's the
OP.
The gatekeeper, right? With the
gatekeeper.
It is poison fruit.
Oh yeah.
He just knocks out all of Blackbeard's crew and almost kills Luffy. Like, that's so overpowered.
Yeah, if he wasn't in the bathroom 10 hours a day, he would be unstoppable. Alright, let's rewind, guys. Let's go back to East Blue. Yeah, I'm just, it feels so long ago, and I'm sure for you guys it feels like really bloody long ago.
It's really long now.
Yeah. Like, the thing that stands out for me that I can't believe happened was Zoro versus Mihawk. I can't believe that actually happened now that I know a bit more.
Best encounter in the East Blue stuff is Zoro v Mihawk. Still waiting on the payoff. Like, Mihawk also criminally underutilized. One of the things I loved the most about One Piece was the Shichibukai. Like freaking Crocodile, Mihawk, I don't know, whoever the other ones were. underutilized. Like,
Is that the warlord you're talking about?
Yeah. Sorry, the seven warlords.
Yeah. Arlong Park again was one of those ones that were kind of. It was almost that feeling I had in Alabasta when the whole help me Luffy scene with Nami. I feel like that was a pivotal moment. Yeah.
I still tear up when I see Luffy, because that is what sold me on Luffy as a protagonist, is the fact that, like, up to this point he's just stupid Luffy, right? But that was where it's like, no, these are my friends. I'm going to freaking Gomu Gomu no axe you here. Like, and I'm gonna crush your pagoda. Like, that's so good.
I know.
So good.
It's like almost warranting the reread, but it's not the time yet.
No, not yet. I have done a few rereads of One Piece, but as you can probably tell, there's a lot of volumes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you own all of them, Petrik?
Nah.
Okay.
I used to own all of them in Indonesian translated edition, but it's all over the place right now. So if I want to read it again, I definitely have to read it digitally.
And the color ones look so good. Like you said, Petrik, if a colored printed version comes out, it's like, take my money.
Yeah, I think
so
I think I will not resist. I cannot resist if the colored version comes out, like the one we see official digitally now. It's so good. Alan, you have to try reading that one, and try seeing some of the panel fully colored. This one is official by Shueisha. Yeah, by Shueisha themselves, and I think they all look amazing. I think in East Blue, as you two have mentioned, I think the biggest moment in the East Blue saga, it was really the Nami one. I agree. I think that was the first. I think that was the first time I think that, okay, Luffy can get pretty serious. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gave you a. Go ahead.
He really kept that attitude, you know. I mean, up to the Water 7, it's still the same. He's protecting his friends, but in the Water 7, it gets extensively more insane. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And, like, he doesn't let them, like, I love Luffy is the lodestone. Like, he's the focus point against when everything else operates around. Like, it is okay if you are unsure about yourself or your life. It is okay if you're afraid. And if you're, like, you know, in peril, because Luffy's not. Like, he is the rock that everyone can count on. He's an idiot, but like, Luffy doesn't care where you've come from. He doesn't care, like, who you've been. Like, you are his friend now, or else you wouldn't be on his crew. And so if you need something, he's got you. Like, he's not gonna let people screw with you. And I love that about Luffy, and it's just so well done in the anime, and you know, it's really well done in the manga too, for what I've been reading. I love him.
Yeah, that's a perfect description. And I saw this, you know how in the SBS or whatever they do the character popularity polls every now and then in the manga, and Luffy's #1 every single time. And I saw people saying online, like, a lot of main characters in the series are not the favorite. There's usually like the side character.
I'm actually surprised it's Luffy and not Zoro. Like,
Zoro is neither one of my favorites.
Here, Zoro's their favorite. All of my friends.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yeah, my brother, he's the one that's caught up with the manga. He loved Zoro as his absolute favorite.
I mean, Zoro's amazing, but I think for what you were saying, Alan, is like the reason Luffy's that he always ends up on top. Because he's just like everyone's rock. He's like he's just the heart of the series easily.
I mean, even though he's an idiot, but yeah, I mean, everyone is an idiot in the Mugiwara crew. Everyone is an idiot. But I think that unbending determination to protect his friends and fight against everyone that's tried to screw them is just incredible. It is incredible. We don't often get a protagonist that is that unbending in their will and power. It's just amazing.
And that, like, he is like pure focus of will personified. Like you can't be like Luffy. You can't do that. Like, you will literally die. Like, you can't charge Marine Ford on your own. You will literally be murdered. And he's like, no. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and save Ace. So what a good arc. Sorry, like, we're still talking about East Blue. Ugh.
Oh, we'll get there. I'm just looking at, Romance on Orishan, Syrup Village. I'm just trying to think of...
The Usopp arc is the worst arc in East Blue, because Usopp is the worst.
So you're a Usopp hater?
Usopp is useless. He doesn't ever. So Soga King is okay.
All right.
Usopp,
They're totally different person, right?
in every other scenario, Usopp is just so useless. But in the anime, he's hilarious because just the way the voice actor plays him as a coward and not like, oh no, oh I have can't step off the boat into a new land. It's so funny. I hate him.
He can be real. Like the moment he frustrated me the most, getting ahead, but like was Water 7 that fight.
Oh
my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I understand, like.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I do.
You do
get
see
it.
the side.
But that, oh my gosh, that was heart wrenching. Him and Luffy.
Yeah.
That fight, I said it when I was reviewing it. It felt like I shouldn't be seeing it. It felt so private, and it felt so intimate. Like in One Piece, like when it gets serious in One Piece, it's so jarring in a really effective way because it's been so carefree and joyous the whole time. When they had that spar, it was just brutal.
And then watching that, you like Usopp, you don't stand a chance. There's no way you can beat Luffy. So that makes it all the more just like awful to watch.
Yeah, I know. When Luffy cried afterwards, it was too much to take. Every time Luffy has cried, I'm fairly sure I've teared up every single time he has because it's just.
And it's worse in the anime because they play the music. Like,
if
they ratchet up the music, I'm done.
Yeah, like the sad version of We Are kicks in. You're just
like, oh my god, Christian! There is nothing that is guaranteed to give me goosebumps in this anime. Is when they start playing We Are underneath the action on the screen because it's always some just freaking epic moment, and I always lose it because We Are is still my favorite of the openings. I love We Are.
Yeah, I noticed like a lot of the soundtrack is just playing off the We Are melody in various arrangements. It's great. Anyway, let's just go to Alabasta. Let's talk about Crocodile. Let's just skip East Blue. Honestly, I'm looking at it.
They're lame in East Blue. We've got Kuro, who's kind of cool as like.
Yeah.
Don Krieg, get out of here, Don Krieg.
East Blue is good, but it's really just like a setup, just for Luffy to meet his crew, and then Alabasta
and Kobe.
Oh yeah, and Kobe, yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't even process Kobe's glow up. I'm like, how the hell did this happen? It's like this is not the same guy.
I know.
Yeah, it's classic fantasy. It's like just read the first 100 chapters and then it starts.
Something like that. But instead this one is almost 20 volumes.
Yeah, I know, far out. Yeah. But it's not like it was bad. It was just so different. It was just a lot more chill, and you couldn't really gather what you were getting into just yet. Mm-hmm. You're kind of just sussing it out. But yeah, Alabasta is where you finally get like a whole political turmoil situation that the Straw Hats who have been so chill and just beating up bad guys up until this point. It's really interesting to see how they fit into something like that.
Yeah, and the heart-wrenching moment for me that was like, oh, okay, we've turned a corner, is when Crocodile spears Luffy on his hook.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and there's blood. I'm like, holy crap! Are we no longer kids 7 and up and now 14? Like, is that what we've done now? It just changed the game for me. Like, it's like, okay, so we've gotten a little bit more serious. It's a little more adult than it was prior. It's just, I love Crocodile as a villain. Luffy and Crocodile's fight, I loved. It's like I said, it's the first guy with a cool devil fruit because Buggy doesn't count. So
Buggy doesn't count?
Buggy I hate Buggy. I hate that Oda loves Buggy, and I hate Buggy's dumb fruit.
How dare you? I love Buggy.
Everyone loves Buggy except me. I'm the lone Buggy.
No. You're not alone on this. I hate Buggy.
What? What is going on?
I hate Buggy. That guy is just nonsense. the only way he survived is because Eiichiro Oda loved him. Really.
When I saw Buggy and Impel down, I was like, no.
Come on. That shot of him with like he's doing this one and he's like with Crocodile on the like panel. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but still.
No.
Is this like the whole Usopp like the same coming from the same place as your Usopp hate? Like the cowardly.
No. Usopp's the worst. Buggy's just incompetent. Like, yes, I don't like incompetent characters. but no, Erebus is awesome, and like you're saying, the political situation, like it's just so good.
Yeah, and we finally get like maps and cities and talking with the citizens. It felt just a lot more serious. Sorry, Petrik, what were you saying?
And Alabasta, I think in Alabasta, it suddenly not only everything just turned more serious, but it was epic. It was epic in scope. We see rebellion, and the arc itself ran for like 6 or 8 volumes, right? If I'm not mistaken. And it was the first. Also, I love seeing how Luffy tried to fight Crocodile's power. Yeah, I think it
with
was
the water
really
barrel.
Creative. Yeah, I think it was really creative, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's so good, so good. I love Alabasta, and I think up to this day, it is still one of my favorite arc. It is still one of my favorite.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna age like a fine wine as I come
Yeah,
The addition of Vivi is great too. Like Vivi helps make it. Like she gives them the connection to what's going on, and everyone, like no one forgets the famous panel, or in the anime, the famous scene where they're leaving and they hold up the arms.
Yeah, this one.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like that is just it's every time. Every time I'm just like,
yeah, God, it is so good. And I'm still kind of hoping that Vivi will join eventually. Do you have much experience with the cover stories, Alan? Being a anime only?
So I do now, because he started, like, there was a cover story about something that I'd seen in a previous arc, and I'm like, what's going on here? And like over like 6 issues, there was like a new like at the beginning there's a new panel of this thing happening, and I'm like, what? So yeah, I am now. I was not prior to last month, but I am now.
Have you seen the one about NL? That might make Skype here a bit better for you.
I have not. I have not.
You know this Petrik, right? This one?
Yeah, I know.
But the problem is, if I never see him again, I'll be okay.
Okay. Can I spoil it for you, or is that?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, he literally goes to the moon, and there's like this whole story of him on the moon, and he finds this whole civilization there.
Alan is like so confused.
Like, this is canon.
What?
Like, this actually happens.
But
okay,
those cover stories somehow are kind of important, you know. It's kind of a shame that many of them are skipped in the anime. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was really intrigued by that. I'm like, wow, we're on because like as a Sanderson fan, I'm like, oh, we're off world, we're on a new planet.
So I'm glad he's on the moon and away from me to see him again.
Yeah, because I saw in Robin's backstory, they had like all those guys in the tree or whatever, those scientists, they had the One Piece Earth and they had multiple moons around it, and then I was like, oh man, so much potential.
Anna just has just such a sucky, like his power is so awesome unless he's going up against a rubber man.
Did it occur to you guys that Luffy would have that advantage?
No, I didn't at first. And then when, you know, that infamous anal shock face happened, it was the same for me. Oh, yeah.
So awesome. It's like, you're like, guess that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't rubber, they'd be screwed, right? There's no other way.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Anal is Logia, right? His fruit is Logia, elemental. And yeah, no one can win against him. No one in the Mugiwara crew back then could win against him.
The Logia fruit are my favorite. Like the ones that can like turn into like, you know, like pure like sand, like the like
and Smoker. Okay, it's making sense now. Your
Smoker,
favorites.
Kizaru. I hate Kizaru. But okay, Kizaru's the most powerful. Dude can turn into light.
Yeah.
He can kill everyone. The speed of light is faster than what anybody else can do. Like Kizaru can just wipe out every pirate on the face of the planet before anybody wakes up. But in the anime, he's the worst. He's always afraid of everything. He goes, oh, Kawaii doesn't. It's always like, oh, that's scary.
Oh my god, Alan. We need to do like I just like put up pictures of One Piece characters and you do the VA impression.
I'll do their Japanese voice. Like I'll do it. I've watched 1,000 episodes of this freaking anime.
All right, Sky Island. More on Sky Island. I feel like I'm going to defend it a little bit. How do you feel about it, Petrik? Sky
I like it. I certainly liked it so much more than Alan.
Okay.
But Alan did make a great point on not too many stuff from Skypiea got mentioned again. It's kind of unfortunate. I think many more should have been mentioned because
I agree.
I can agree with that. But I love the Skypiea Island. I think in general, I tend to love everything that tend to do with a civilization or setting in the sky. I have a soft spot for them, so I love Skypiea.
I like it too. I liked it a lot purely for the setting as well because it was just so visually appealing and it's just kind of dreamlike. You can't help but enjoy it. I felt like it was too long for sure. It was way too long. Like it was like double the length it needed to be. It was only until like the whole Nolan backstory. I'm forgetting the other guy. Who was Nolan's friend?
Oh, I forgot the name. See?
I can't even remember anybody except Anna. Like I can't remember any other character in Sky.
So you don't remember the whole flashback with Nolan the liar and everything?
Nolan the liar. Yeah.
That's the liar part.
Yeah, and ringing the bell. And like Luffy's silhouette as he rang the bell and they're watching from Jaya. That was cool. Like that was a great payoff.
And like I do think it's cool that like Enter like literally has like made himself a god. Like that people have. Like that is really cool. I just didn't like any like I just came from Alabasta where I've got Crocodile and like these other cool like things going on. I didn't really like anybody on that wasn't a Straw Hat in the Skypiea arc. And I think that's why. I don't think I liked any like the you know how they all break off and fight. I didn't like any of the fights other than I liked Luffy and Enno. Like that was awesome. But I didn't like any of the sub fights really. And so the setting is cool. I will give you the setting's awesome. I think, you know, Enel being an insane person is really cool. And him and Luffy's fights were awesome. Like the lightning power is so cool.
Yeah.
But I am disappointed that nothing from Skypiea really comes up anymore, which makes me sad because that's not the case for like literally every other arc. And so yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of potential for things to come back. I mean, I guess Mantra was basically hockey. I'm guessing that's what it was, right? The whole time.
There's so many versions of like hockey. Like you have hockey, but then you have like what CP9 uses.
Oh, like the shaves and stuff.
Like the 6 things, like the time.
Oh yeah.
You know, they can also turn their skin hard, but it's not hockey. So
okay, so it's not necessarily the same thing. It's
all very confusing.
Okay.
No, but it does get more confusing though in the post Marineford arc because there's so many characters. There are so technically magic now. There are so many skills, powers, and all that now. And I know that we all read novels like epic fantasy stuff. One Piece, it can be mentioned as to be more epic than many of them. It is just so epic now. So many characters, so many world building, and so many stuff from the pre-Marineford arc gets mentioned again. But as Alan said, not too many one from Skypiea.
Yeah, the Wano arc is too long, but it's the most epic
long.
thing I've ever seen.
It is long.
Like it's the most epic thing I've ever seen in my life. Like it is. There's not, you can't quantify how epic it is. Like it's just let's crank everything up to like 100. But it's too long. It's just too long. But it is very, very, very good.
Do you hold One Piece in the same regard, Alan, as Petrik, where it's like up there with your favorite epic fantasy novels?
Oh, 100%. Like One Piece.
Absolutely.
It's one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
It's sometimes difficult because when we talk about novels, I try to not talk about manga as well because they are just different storytelling medium. Yeah, but One Piece is one of the most epic stories out there. It is one of the best, easily one of the best.
I wanted to ask you guys that because a lot of people will say it's because you've been watching for your whole life, so there's that connection to it, which can create that bond. But you guys have a more critical eye as well, and you're very well read too. Because sometimes I feel like these mangas don't get the respect they deserve or held in the same regard because people just see like, oh, it's a cartoon.
You can tell good stories. It's the same people who don't think that video games can tell some of the best fantasy storylines that I've ever seen, and sci-fi storylines have been in a freaking video game. Like you can tell stories in any medium. And the book snobs need to chill out. And like I'm not following a whole bunch of other people for 20 years, like authors, like the same guys producing work for 20 years. Like, I'm going to get attached.
Yeah.
Of course, our attachment must be included when we're talking about this. But, well, it's easy. It's also easy for us to say that our attachment can go away if the story isn't good.
Yeah, exactly.
20 years is a long time.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Water 7. It's finally time. Long Ring, Long Land, Water 7, any Slubby.
Water 7 after Skypiea?
Well, the saga. It starts with Long Ring, Long Land.
No. Is that Foxy? Is that where
Foxy? Yeah, Foxy Pirates.
We can kind of just skip the Foxy one.
It's just Afro Luffy. That's the only thing.
I have to say that Foxy is another one who has an incredible power and is just lame. Foxy's his power is amazing, but he's just lame. But yeah,
I'm trying to remember his power. What was it?
It's the slow fruit.
Oh, that's right.
Like that's so powerful, but it's Foxy using it. But yeah, so we can skip that. Water 7. Yeah.
But we do get to see Aokiji for the first time there. So yeah.
That's what. He did show up at the end. That's the only good thing.
That's the only important part about that.
I don't actually like Aokiji.
Oh wow, really? Come on.
Sorry.
He's really intriguing to me. Like I can't figure him out yet.
He is to most people. I mean, his power's awesome. Ice, like that's freaking cool, but I don't like Aokiji. I liked Akainu until
I
don't like him now, but I did.
I hate him now.
Fujitora, the one of the admirals they haven't met is my favorite admiral. He's just like he's so cool. His power is so cool. Like he's
the blind swordsman, right?
Yeah, he's a blind admiral. He's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like Aokiji almost doesn't want to be an admiral. Like I can't figure out his motives yet. I'm sure you guys know a lot more and can't say anything. But I feel like he's kind of helping out. Well, he gives them a lot of free passes, is what I'm gathering so far. Especially Robin as well. He has a very complicated thing there. But I just feel like Water 7, I'm looking at it now with the other arcs, I think it's still my favorite up until the time skip.
Water 7, so good. It's like, again, like Luffy does not accept Robin's leave me alone. He's like, no, you don't mean that. Like, and we get all of Robin's backstory, how she literally wants to die. Like she hates herself. Like, and Luffy is like, I don't accept that. Like she's like, who am I? Like, I don't mean anything to anybody. Like, no, that's not true. Like Nakama, come on. Like Robin, like say you want to live, and then I'm getting chills thinking about it.
I know.
It's probably still my favorite moment, top moment in the whole series.
When Luffy told Sogeking, not Usopp.
I don't know where Usopp went.
When he told Sogeking to burn the flag, it was, oh my god, we're so on right now.
Dude. So good. And they're like, do you know what you've just done? And Luffy's like, bring it on. He's just screaming.
And I love that Luffy literally does not realize that Sogeking and Usopp are the same. Like he literally isn't. Like everyone else knows, and Luffy literally thinks that Sogeking is someone different. Like
his whole memory of that arc is so completely different to everyone else's.
I love Luffy. But the introduction of Frankie is
Yeah.
also
Oh my God, Frankie. Yeah.
and I love pre-time skip Frankie because again, his voice actor, super like
Super.
I love Frankie's voice. Like it just adds so much. And so I really, really enjoyed the introduction of Frankie. And you know, his whole backstory with Iceberg and Like a Dawn with like Tom or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was a huge Frankie fanboy when we got to Water 7.
What are your fond memories of Water 7, Petrik?
There's too much. There's too much, Christian. I mean, I watched Water 7 and also read Water 7 together with my little brother, right? With my younger brother, and both of that I just head over heels over everything. When we arrived in the city, Water 7 city, it was already so cool, right? It was just like Skypiea. It was just so visually appealing. And then there's a lot of rules to how the water rises and all that, the sea train and everything. And then there's also Luffy versus Usopp. Oh, come on.
Oh that God,
one was just, yeah.
It's honestly so stacked. Like you got all that you said. Introduction of Frankie, all of Frankie's backstory, all of Robin's backstory, the fight with Luffy and Usopp, and like CP9 agents. Like so much in
There's
one
so
saga.
much happening. Amazing.
Luffy's trying to get rid of Mary. Like I understand.
Oh yeah, and the Mary.
Yeah, the loss of Mary and the introduction of Sunny.
Yeah.
It's
Easily
so
the best
sad.
saga so far for me.
It's like I wept for the boat.
Oh yeah, we all did. Oh my God.
It is so powerful. What an emotional moment in that part.
For sure.
Yeah, saying goodbye to going Mary, it was really sad.
Hey, and that was foreshadowed in Skypiea. We'll give Skypiea that the Mary.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, this is the introduction of Luffy's gear, his shift in
Oh, yeah,
my God, yeah.
Gear second. Yeah.
This is where we first overheating Luffy, like, you know, Red Hawk and gear second. You know.
Oh
like,
man, yeah, him versus Lucci, and that was the end of what.
I hate Rob Lucci and his stupid pigeon.
Oh come on, you can't get mad at the pigeon. The pigeon looks great.
It does have the most useless bad guy though. The soap lady. This is the one with the soap.
Oh yeah, the bubble fight with Nami.
The bubble fight. Yeah.
It's so dumb. The clean fruit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know that Eiichiro, the Dragon Ball by Akira Toriyama, is a huge inspiration to him, right? And I think Gear Second was the first time Oda channeled that into Luffy with his jet pistol. When he used jet pistol to Bluno or something. Yeah, I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah,
He grabs him by the horns.
Oh. Yeah.
Because he couldn't break through the Tekai. He couldn't break through the freaking rock skin or whatever.
Yeah. And when Luffy was just stuck between two buildings for like a solid few chapters, like he was just wedged in between.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
and then the fight on the sea train and everything with the ramen guy and Sanji.
I didn't realize until we just listed them all out how much is in this freaking saga.
Yeah.
Like, is Water 7's not where Luffy punches the Tenryubito, right? The Celestial Dragon? Where is that?
No. That's after
Sabaody.
that happens.
Sabaody. Sabaody. Gotcha.
Yeah. That would be too much.
There's nothing like that moment. Like,
oh my God.
I'm just like, I'm like everybody else watching it, like.
Yeah, especially the anime, man. That was animated so well.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Punches him into the manga, as people say.
In my brain, I just kind of think, a Water 7 and Enies Lobby as one story, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Water 7's kind of like the build up, and Enies Lobby is the payoff.
They're also connected.
Yeah, and post Enies Lobby, I just remember being a massive lore dump, though I can't actually recall what the hell happened in post Enies Lobby. I'm just going straight to Thriller Bark in my mind.
Thriller Bark was a disappointment after. I mean, it has to be after what we just went through.
Moira.
Yeah, Thriller Bark's probably one of my least favorites. Up there with Long Ring. Yeah.
Pink Sake and Laboon.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, yeah.
that was good stuff. But the rest of it was not, like Absalom and, you know, like
Absalom was.
Yes,
Not
it
my
was a bit
favorite.
uncomfortable. And we also had Nothing Happened, which was a huge moment too, in Thriller Bark with Zoro.
Thriller Bark is just alright. I think it's just for us to take a little break after Enies Lobby.
I love Brooke. I love Brooke.
Brooke
Yeah,
was
same.
great, and
I
just
I
like
really
the
love how. Sorry. I really love how Brooke always tried to tell a story and then at the end, to be continued. He says something like that. It was also hilarious.
I love his skull jokes when he tells.
oh
like,
yeah, like I would cry, but I don't have eyes. Yeah,
Yes, skull joke.
yeah. I was not expecting Laboon payoff this early. Well, it's not really payoff, but
man.
like
I know. I didn't think I'd ever see Laboon again, but
I
freaking
know.
so good.
And we also had the scene with Zoro where nothing happened with Kuma, right? That was Thriller Bark.
Oh
wasn't it?
yeah. That iconic moment. That one.
That was a massive moment, and there's like, I think the more underrated moment is before that when Sanji's trying to take the hit instead of Zoro. Like Sanji actually.
Oh, that's where Zoro eats the Kuma.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
took all Luffy's damage into him. Wow, and he's still standing up.
Yeah.
Zoro's just beyond beast mode.
And I'm just trying to remember who knows that. I think Sanji and Robin and either Frankie or Brooke. I think it's Brooke. Sanji, Robin, and Brooke know that happened, but everyone else is completely in the dark about that.
Because that's what's next, right? Sabouti?
Yeah, straight
Shibari's
after.
next.
Watching Luffy for the first time not be able to do it. Like this is we have believed in Luffy for however many episodes this is, or issues. And Luffy has always been okay, Luffy's got this. It's fine. It looks too hard, but Luffy and to watch Luffy's realization as Kuma just without breaking a sweat, Kuma. That makes it even worse. And Luffy just watches himself lose everything. And it's the first time Luffy can't do it. And it was so, man. My friends and I were watching that. It was at this point that I had friends that would they would come over multiple times a week and we binge watch 10, 15 episodes. And so we were watching it together. And so that was an even better experience because we're all like, what?
Oh my god.
We're losing it. Oh, so good.
That's something I totally envy. Being able to experience this with a group of people would be amazing. I'm just sitting alone in my room being like, oh wow, they disappeared.
Nah, I get what you mean, Noah. I used to experience One Piece together with my younger brother, but now no longer because I only read One Piece alone now.
Yeah, me and you both, Petrik. But yeah, no, that was totally heartbreaking. And again, I feel like the anime did it better than the manga, or at least elevated the feeling of despair I got watching that.
Yeah, it was terrifying. It was really terrifying. Seeing Luffy scream like that, seeing all his friends gone, it was so good. So good.
And in this arc, we got introduced to all this, I don't know what they call them, but this new era of pirates where we got
yeah.
Right, yeah, Law and Kid and all the Kid. I don't remember the others' names.
Yeah, Law, Kid, Hawkins, X Drake.
Yeah.
That
there is so much going on with them.
And his stupid musical teeth.
Who's the guy where mini people come out of him? Who's that guy?
Oh, that's Capone.
Yeah, Capone, yeah.
Freaking Capone.
You know how you talked about not knowing what's going on when you're seeing the black and white manga? I saw that. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Ege Capone. Yeah.
Yeah, he throws in all those guys and they have a page each and then they're gone. It was a lot. But it was the first instance where we saw Luffy kind of cooperating with other pirates, I feel. When he fought with Law and Kid outside the slave auction house. That was insane.
And then punches the
Tenryubito.
Exactly. I hate those guys. I hate them so much.
Oh my god.
They are the definition of spoiled children.
I know.
Nose.
Oh my god. Always with the nose, man. Half the people in One Piece have just like needed tissue, I swear to God. But it was dark, man, in the manga. I don't know how much the anime did, but like they're riding people and just shooting others in the street.
Anime does all that too.
Yeah, man. He went for it this arc. He got super dark.
We also Silver Raleigh is so we have another some more info about Roger.
Yeah, and it blew my mind how he was. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was Garp in the cover stories, Petrik, right? How like his beard, you could see it with the or like there was like a flashback where you could see Garp's beard back in like the first or second chapter. It's nuts. I get his, or was it Rayleigh's beard? It was one of them.
Garp already has a beard, so
it was really, he's got like the lion beard. There was like a flashback to Buggy and Shanks maybe. And
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah.
I love Shanks too, but we'll talk about Shanks more in this next arc.
We haven't seen Shanks do a lot until Marineford. It's crazy that he's one of the first characters that we met, and we didn't see him in action until Marineford. So crazy.
I have always loved Shanks since those first episodes. I've loved Shanks, because he sacrifices his arm to save Luffy. Like that's, I mean, that's instant.
Yeah.
Dude, right on. I love Shanks.
Yeah.
Shanks is like he's only shown up maybe 2 or 3 times. I'm trying to think of before Marineford when he did show up. I think we saw him have some sort of interaction with Mihawk in post Enies Lobby, I think.
Probably.
And there's maybe like a few flashbacks, but yeah, it was only until Marineford where he like properly impacts the story, and it's like holy crap.
Yeah, and after Sabaody, like once Luffy gets over the everybody's gone and the woe is me, like, and we do the training montage, that thing just shoves it into high gear, and I don't know how anybody stops reading. Like when we got to Impel Down, I was like, guys, you must clear your schedule. You've got to come back over. Like we cannot wait another week before we watch more. Like we can't. We must have watched One Piece all day one of these days on the weekend, because it just hit the ground running. And it being the anime, it didn't even feel like it dragged. And everything in the anime feels like it dragged, but it was so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh no! After Shabody is Amazonia.
Amazon
Amazonia.
Lily.
Amazon Lily. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very short. Like it's
really short.
Oh, Hancock's fine. I mean,
she is fine, Alan. She's very fine.
I mean, yes, that also.
Yeah.
That also. What is it? Where she's looking so far down her nose at you that she's looking upwards.
Yeah. Man, yeah, but like you said, once you get to Impel Down, there's no stopping. There is absolutely no stopping. And it's just like endless reveals of old friends and foes from the past.
The way they make it, they make it amazing and compelling, but they've taken away your Straw Hats. This is amazing and compelling with just Luffy. And so, I didn't think I was I was like, no. I didn't think I was gonna like after they were gone, but man, Oda sold it. It was it was great.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing to do. And it would have been so risky. And I'm sure you guys were both up to date at that point, right? There must have been a lot of backlash or a lot of worry, I guess, in the fandom.
Oh, I was not up to date. I hadn't watched it for a while by the time
I didn't even know. I wasn't caught up with the fandom at all, so I just experienced things on my own. Sometimes they are good in that, sometimes because we are not influenced by anything.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in just the flood of opinions, and before you're just
the fandom spoils stuff.
Oh god, don't even get me started on the YouTube thumbnail. They are so annoying.
Oh yeah, I just clicked not interested in any One Piece that's recommended.
So many spoilers. They are intentionally doing that because but that's another topic.
A Christian said that he, and I know I was, he said that you also had been spoiled on Ace.
Yeah, I did.
Me too. It was
so
spoiled for me
crazy.
too.
And when I read the Marineford arc, because let's just talk about this one.
Yeah.
Because Ace was initially saved, right? Ace was initially saved, and I thought, oh, so I guess they were lying to me. Yeah. And bam, it happened. Okay, I guess not. But I knew about that already. I got spoiled on it. People just could not. They could not shut up about it.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
Same thing, Petrik. I was the edge of my seat, like leaning forward, like because he saved him. Like saved him. Because I knew he was gonna die too, and I'm like, okay, so when is this gonna happen? And then when Luffy got him, I'm like, what? Wait, like, but he saved him. And then Akainu, and then I'm like, oh no.
Oh
no.
That was me too, though, Alan, because I'm like, I didn't know when it was going to happen. So when he got saved, I was like, oh man, it's probably post time skip. I got so much more time with Ace to enjoy. They're going to fight together. I was so hyped. So it was still a gut punch.
It was executed really. It was really well executed because even though we knew it would happen, it was still devastating to see it, and it's still unpredictable because, as we mentioned, he was saved. He was saved.
Yeah.
I did not see Old Man Whitebeard dying. I didn't see that.
No, I didn't know about that.
And so I was like, did they just? And Whitebeard's dead, and he's still standing there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Man, Whitebeard.
I thought for sure he wouldn't die because he was like talked up so much by the fans. Everyone loves him so much. I'm like, he must be a massive character going forward. But I think it was a really good choice to do it, execute it how we did it there, because it leaves room now. There's moved like to follow the next gen, and it kind of shows you how powerful the old guard was.
Yeah. And the Marineford, just the fight, like where literally everyone is involved. We finally get to see the admirals in action. We get to see the Shichibukai, who have up to this point, the warlords, up to this point been antagonists to Luffy and the Straw Hats. But now, Mihawk is fighting against Luffy, but Hancock and the kicked out Shichibukai, Crocodile fighting on the side of freaking Luffy. I'm like, what? Like, yes, it's just a dream team. And Smoker's there too, right? Like,
everyone's there. Everyone is there.
It's so like it's the definition of epic. It's so amazing.
Yeah, I think everyone was there except the Straw Hats. I can't think of anyone who wasn't there. Just CP9 maybe. That's it. And then everyone else just literally showed up.
So amazing.
And Marco's freaking insane too. Like just turning into a phoenix.
Oh yeah, I love Marco.
Marco the Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, Whitebeard's crew is freaking awesome. Diamond Jozo or whatever. And,
oh yeah.
Heck yeah.
I think that is one of the best thing about Oda, because when we see physically, many of the characters are not cool, just physically, but Oda can make so many of them, legendary. Yeah, I think that's a really great aspect of Oda storytelling because, not a lot of manga do that because usually manga characters are so cool immediately from their physical look, but that's not Oda's. Even
Kizaru is the perfect example of that.
I was about to mention him.
Kizaru looks like a clown with his dumb 70s style clothes. He's just like One thing that bothered me in Marineford repeatedly was how far the platform with Ace kept changing. It's really close and the battle's right next to it, and then the next episode, Luffy's 18 football fields away and it's right.
You're watching the anime, right, on this?
Yeah,
exactly. That's my issue with the anime on Marineford. He's so far.
I know. It's so far.
I watched some episodes on Crunchyroll and all the comments were like, he's been running to Ace for 20 episodes.
It's like Ace is 13 miles away.
Oh man. And like a lot of like beyond all the cool fights and everything and like the returns of villains, I feel like Garp was like a really strong emotional hook as well in Marineford because he's so conflicted and he's like trying to do stuff to help but he can't really. And Sengoku as well seems pretty conflicted.
He's
with the
trying
whole...
to keep the peace. Like
Yeah.
Sengoku's trying to keep the peace, and this is not what he planned for.
Yeah.
Like so, and that's when Sengoku transforms in that one in Marineford.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he
Like,
does.
I'm like, what is this giant golden Buddha that you turned into, Sengoku? What?
Yeah, that was out of nowhere, man.
But yeah, everything is just beyond Luffy at that stage. Luffy was insane to be there.
Yeah, he's such a minor player. In,
Back. Yeah, it's crazy, and
Oh,
he doesn't
man.
even have hockey. He doesn't even have hockey yet.
He does, but he doesn't know how to use it. Like he screams and everyone passes out.
That's right. He trained.
That's right.
Training with Rayleigh, right? Or is that?
Yeah,
no,
that's afterwards.
that's afterwards. That's post, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Post War was so good. Post War had I got a lot to talk about with that because not only do you get like Luffy's I still have my crew moments and all that, but like the backstories kills you with Ace's sudden death because not only do you lose Ace, you lose Sabo as well straight after, and learn that there's a whole other tragedy in their backstory.
That backstory will get relayed a lot in the post Marineford. Yeah.
Good, yeah.
That backstory.
I feel like there's a lot.
Which backstory? Sorry.
Luffy with Ace and Sabo. Yeah.
Ace and my boy Sabo.
I feel like we're getting into territory where it's like you can't say much because I feel like there's a lot in that backstory that can be, like there's little moments that I feel like question mark but I feel like I'll get explained.
Your next arc is Fishman Island, which I don't like. Like I know a bunch of people that do like it. I don't like Fishman at all.
I think many people actually dislike that arc, Fishman Island. Yeah.
Really?
Fishman
What about it?
Just was like, hey, I'm not going to spoil it. It just feels like a lot of things are being rehashed that we've seen before.
Okay.
It feels like here's an introduction of what the Straw Hats can do now post time skip. That's what it feels like. So post time skip doesn't really heat up till after Fishman for me. And in the anime, it's way too long.
Yeah.
So you may be fine in the manga. It's
okay,
way
right.
too long in the anime.
Yeah, I've just seen Usopp rock up with some muscles, and they're like fighting the fake Straw Hats.
Still useless.
Yeah. Oh man.
I like Fishman Island, but yeah, it's just a section to introduce this how much the Straw Hat has gotten stronger now. Yeah.
And I've noticed it's like the go-to promo like outfits and stuff because I'm like, oh, this is how I've seen them for so long. I can like they seem to use this look for everything.
It also introduces one of the worst characters in the entire series.
Who?
Caribou.
Oh, Caribou. Okay.
I haven't been introduced yet.
Yeah. You will see.
And you'll be like, oh, Alan was right. This guy sucks.
Do you guys have a preference of like pre or post time skip One Piece?
Favorite arc?
Or just like a preference, like your favorite era of One Piece, pre time skip or post time skip?
So there is so many cool things and like really cool plot beats that are in post time skip. So it's hard to like, but Marineford exists in pre time skip. And the thing is, because everything continues to be more epic, the Straw Hats have less time to kind of hang out together. And so I feel like post time skip, especially as you keep going on the later arcs, the like interaction and relationships between the Straw Hats, we get less of that and more about like this impending plot, like these things that are going on. And just because there are so many characters and there are so many threads that there just isn't time. Even what he's doing is too long. So I can't really prefer one or the other. I think there are things that I prefer from pre. Like, first of all, I prefer pre-time skip Frankie and pre-time skip Brooke. Because I liked violin playing Brooke more than guitar playing Brooke. And I don't like Frankie's post-time skip character design.
Yeah, I like his older look better
Same.
as well.
But I mean, so there are things from each that I like. Like you can't like Dressrosa, like the just some of the storylines in Dressrosa, like they're so good. And then Wano is ludicrous. Like
Yeah.
so there's some really good things post time skip. But I do miss like the quieter moments that we get to have in pre-time skip.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to choose as well. I will say though that in the pre-time skip, there were more intense moments more often, because in the post-time skip, I didn't feel that intensity until we reached Wano. Yeah, because it's not that the story isn't engaging. It's not that, but the Mugiwara is just so strong now. They are so strong now, and
It's power creep.
Yeah, power creep. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard for me to feel that intensity that I got from reading like Water 7 and Marineford, because I know Luffy is just so outmatched in those arcs, you know. Yeah, it's hard to feel. Yeah.
The first time that I got that intensity you're talking about was Luffy's final fight in Dressrosa, but like that's not soon after the time.
My volumes. I've got a while.
It takes a hot minute, but like because I love the villain in Dressrosa, and like just the lengths that have to be gone to actually like take the villain down is just like, so the final fight with Luffy is these like, I loved it. Like I stood up, like I was like, yes! Yeah. Like it's so like it's just so good. But Petrik's right. Like there's not a bunch of that, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel it again until Wano. So
well, guys, we've relived some of the journey from East Blue all the way up to the time skip. Thank you for joining me and sharing your One Piece expertise so far.
This is the first time I've gotten to talk about One Piece since I joined. Like I'm so excited to get to talk. I used to have a bunch of friends who watched One Piece, and now they don't live here. They moved away, or they don't watch anymore. And I'm so happy to be able to talk to you about One Piece.
Yeah, same. Seriously, thank you so much for inviting me. It's really good to be able to talk about One Piece. I know I should probably do it sometime on my channel, but yeah, manga stuff tend to not go well on my channel. Not yet, anyway. But sometimes it does get crazy when I hear people comment that, have you read One Piece? I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, have you? Like, for 20 years, I have read One Piece.
You're gonna see, man. The demand will go up so much higher now that people have seen you talk about it, and they like, you know what you're on about. The demand will be flooding in.
I'll be like, hey, talk about One Piece more. I'll be like, guys, no. Like, I'll talk about it some.
I think we should do that though. Like, if we all get caught up, we could do like every 3 chapters or something.
Let's do it.
There needs to be a discussion.
That's the best part about catching up, is like you can all read it together and you can kind of experience it at the same time, being like, oh my gosh, did you see what just happened in this?
Exactly. That's one of the best part of being caught up with ongoing series.
And that brings our discussion to a close. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back as soon as I can with the next arc review. I hope you've all been well, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.